everybody to another edition of the Major Music Lounge. Got a long time homie of mine, Zach One and V Boy here on the show. What's good, fellas?
What's
You
happening?
got what it do, big homie, man. It's been a minute, bro. You know what I
It's been
mean?
a hot minute, man. We go back, man, to like
Way
shit.
back.
I want to say like '09, maybe
Yeah.
2010. Yeah.
Maybe even
Dang.
before that, bro. I
Yeah.
was like, I was just listening to our old track a few days ago, man. Like, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've
man.
been doing so much since then, and I've been doing so much since then. I almost forgot we had a track together, bro. I'm like, man, we got that
Yeah,
banger.
man. We we
Zach got
we
too many tracks.
we gotta get in
Zach
there
got
and get something again, man. Definitely gotta work
Definitely,
again.
definitely, bro.
And speaking of that, man, I got a chance to listen to a couple of the joints that you sent me. So I really, like what y'all doing. And the ones that really stood out was like Made It Out and What For, those two. I like this fact that you're really rapping about life, and
Yeah.
much
Yes.
respect to you on that. I connected with you about your new project, in fact wanted to hear a little bit about that while you guys were here. Y'all want to get into that first, and then we kind of get to some other things along the way as well. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your upcoming project.
Go ahead, V. I'll let you take that one.
Okay, so the album's called Parallel Universe. It's a collaboration album between me and Zach One. This would be the second in the volume two in what we call the Return of the Kings project. Zach and I came up rapping together, definitely supporting each other, but from two not rival crews, but two different crews. Zach has been working relentlessly the entire time. I've taken some time off, about 6 or 7 years, just focusing on my life and everything. And I kind of got to a point where I didn't know what I wanted to do musically. I thought that a lot of what was going on in hip hop was redundant and kind of regressive, a lot of misogyny and violent talk and all this stuff. And I was like, I wasn't really living the trap life anymore. Like, come from that, I come from the mud, but I just I didn't know how to continue to do hip hop without it being a little too backpacky. So Zach had reached out and said he was interested in doing a project again and pulling me out of retirement. I was like, I don't know where we're gonna go with it because I really don't want to kick bars that aren't real because hip hop is all about authenticity. And he said, let's toy with some ideas. And we really found this neat niche to where we are talking about our upbringing, our life, everything we've been through, but we're not being regressive. We're not promoting any negative. We're not telling people to slang dope. We're not telling people to carry guns. We're not telling people to hurt people, but we are telling people that this is where we came from and we've elevated mentally. And I think it's a good look for hip hop. It's a good look in 2000 with everything going on in the world today. I think it's a really good look to have people start to focus on this sort of hip hop and how it could still be street, still be urban, still be something you could beat out the trunk, drive through the hood and listen to, but not feel that you're setting up the next generation to do the same thing that we did, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like first and foremost, it kind of reminded me of a situation that I was in as far as a collaboration album. I recently did a collaboration album with another friend of mine by name of MA. And kind of
Mhm.
similar in the fact that how you were talking about how Zach got you in retirement. I wouldn't say I was quite there, but like I was taking a little bit of a break because last year I done a couple of albums in 2020. So
Yes,
MA
sir.
reached out to me about doing this project and I was just like, let's go ahead and let's get it up, man. And
Let's do it.
the other piece is the fact that you guys kind of like we were talking about before the show was you just rapping about life and you're being authentic about it,
Right.
and that's pretty much kind of like the basis of my music as well. A lot of people can see through the BS. With that kind of being said, like eventually if you continue to be yourself, you're gonna gain a following because everybody's
Yeah.
gonna see that and everybody's
Right.
gonna respect that. And that's, you know, that's what I kind of respect about you guys as well. Now, Zach, tell us a little bit about where you got the concept for doing the
Right.
album and doing a project.
Yeah, so like V said, basically, you know, when we first had talked about doing the album, we wanted to do some. I just told him, man, look, man, we older now. We ain't really living the life we used to rap about. We used to, you know, we've been through that, and let's just do something that's real. We could talk about where we came from, how we came up out of it, but let's do something that our kids can listen to, and that we ain't gotta, you know, fast forward tracks through for, you know, the little ones. You know, oh, you
Yeah,
want to hear
for
this?
sure.
Woo, woo, woo. So, you know, I kind of V was kind of stuck at first because he had never done nothing like this, and I kind of been on that path a little bit, and I was shooting him some stuff to get him inspired, and he got in that groove, man, and the whole point of the album, or the whole idea behind the concept of parallel universe, because the album itself is called Parallel Universe. It's kind of like you know, the theory about parallel universes, that there's another universe somewhere else with a different outcome of, you know, situations or decisions we made in life, you know, and there's a different us somewhere else. Well, this is like kind of just looking back at our old selves and being like, look, man, this is who we used to be, but that's not who we are now. You know what I mean? And just letting people see the transformation, and letting people know that you don't have to always rap about negativity, even if that's all that's around you. You know what I mean? Like, we came up out of that. And I'm not going to say we don't endure things like that to this day, but it's not something you always have to just glorify or rap about. You know what I mean? You can talk about, there's better things to talk about. There's better ways to go about living life in a more positive manner. So I believe that this is going to be something that we're both really hoping the youth can look at and listen to and get inspired by, and get behind those type of ideas, to where it's like, man, you know, we can do it too. We can rap about, you know, everyday life. But I mean, when you in that life and you live in that life and you're surrounded by negativity, why not do something different and try to uplift people, instead of just keeping it in the content of your music, which kind of weighs people down in a way sometimes. I understand, don't get me wrong, I understand, like, living that life and being around that, you know, that's what comes with it. And that's sometimes that's all you you know, just basically just trying to avoid some of the stuff we've done already, you know, and it's a new page, a new look in our lives, and a new way to go about, you know, approaching the rap. And you know, it does have also an element of where we connected with a lot of the youth from our city. So our city is very hip hop oriented and based. When the first MCs came out of my city, they were all about hip hop, you know, and we never really got that shine. We were in the middle of two huge communities, which is Oakland and San Francisco. We're San Jose. There's three big cities around us that have got a little more recognition than us. Obviously, we're just a kind of a small city, but you know, everybody's always trying to be the first one out of the city to make it big. And you know, I kind of feel like if we don't support each other, then nobody's going to make it big. So we're just trying to uplift a lot of the youth as well, and we try to include them on this project, and let them, you know, kind of bridge that gap. You know, build that bridge to where, you know, we rocking with you, rock with us, and it's working great, bro. Because you're starting to see a lot of these young cats that were it kind of felt like they were, you know, didn't know what to do, which way to go. Like, should they mess with us? Should they not? But they're jumping on board, just promoting our stuff. They're rocking with us. We're doing the same thing for them. Shout out Knuckles. That's a little young homie from the town that's putting one out right now, and it's got a good push behind it. We supporting that to the fullest. Anybody coming out of my town, man, you know, as long as they're solid and they've been coming up the same way we have, and you know, we just gotta support each other and keep that push alive. Or like I said, I don't feel like we'll get anywhere, man. It's not about, you know, I always say it's not a city, it's a movement. You know what I mean? That's a little saying behind this whole project. So that's kind of how I feel, and that's the concept behind the Parallel Universe album. You know what I mean? In a nutshell.
Yes,
It's a
sir.
big
Yes, sir.
nutshell, but it's in a nutshell. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And you know, the other thing, I respect what you guys are doing highly, because I feel like these days you can rap about more than just the streets. You can rap about what you've been through. It's okay to make records without having violence, and it's okay to make records about getting high all the time and things like that. The thing I see, from the outside looking in, I kind of saw you over the years, just evolve as a person, just go through a transformation as a person. And I'm very proud for where you are right now, and a lot of the things that you're doing. So I want to give you your flowers for that.
Appreciate you, my guy.
No problem, man. If you want to just kind of elaborate, I guess from the time we made the record to now, as a person, how do you think you've changed from then till now?
Well, definitely a big part of that, man, is just the fact that I got saved, man. I'm a Christian. And I didn't know the Lord before. And so when we met, I was just kind of in the world, just doing my thing. I didn't have no boundaries, no margins. I was just doing whatever I wanted. I was definitely in the game, doing a lot of extra, outside of the rap game. But I had kids, and I wasn't taking care of them the way I probably, I could have been doing a better job with that. But I went through some very rough patches in life from that point, man. In about 2014 was when I took a real big spiral downward, and I ended up on my back, man. And the only way, what they say is when you land on your back, the only way to look up is up. So I was looking up, man, and the Lord grabbed me, and He just let me know He was there. I just prayed. I had nothing else to do but pray every day. I had nothing left. I was to the point where I was homeless. Um, I was in a bad place, bro, relationship wise, living wise. I lost my job, I was still hustling. I still had a little money in my pocket, so I would still be able to make little minor moves to ensure somewhere to stay or whatever. But it was a hard time, and man, just through all that, bro, I found the Lord. I got saved. Met my pastor. He invited me to his church, and ever since then, my life just it did a 180, bro. You know what I mean? And through that, of course, my music changed as well. And before this project, I was only doing Christian rap, and this is the thing that's kind of crazy about this whole project too. Is V had hit me up, and he was like, "Man, I want to do another project before we hang it up." I'm like, "Man, look, this is who I am now. I ain't the old person I used to be, bro. I can't. I got things that I feel like I can't do, and things that I can do. So I'm gonna let you know right away. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that." And he respected that, bro. And it was a challenge for me not to come too religious on this album because I am about the Lord. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted it to be something that would bring people in more than just scaring them off by overdoing it with that. Because the album I cut before this with my partner Devarg, which is a total Christian project, and it was a great project. But I wanted to try something a little different because it's like they said about Jesus himself, man. He used to hang out with the taxpayer, the tax collectors, and the prostitutes. He didn't come to hang out with the cream of the crop, the kings. He came to save people. So in order to do that, he had to be in the low places where people are doing bad, where they needed to be saved the most. So that's kind of how I look at it, bro. And a good one of my good homies had told me, I kind of got at him about it too, because I had a show one night at this nightclub, and what goes on in nightclubs. So I'm like, man, I kind of felt like out of character a little bit by doing this and accepting it. And he just told me straight up, bro. He's like, that's the way it is, man. That's where people need to be saved the most. You got a lot of evil and darkness going on in these kind of spots, man. So go out there and do what you do, man, just spread the love, you know what I mean? So that's what I did, bro. And that's how all this came about. I'm very proud and stand 100% behind this project, man. I think it's a great project, and I think it's something positive, and I just hope like it reaches people the way we're hoping it does. And I believe it will, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Um, and that's another thing too that I like that you're doing Christian rap because a lot of people these days they may everybody practices their religion in their own way,
Right.
Yeah.
and not everybody though is like I can't really think of many Christian rappers off the top of my dome, and I met Lecrae personally out here in
Lecrae.
Dallas.
Trey
Yeah,
Fire.
Lecrae is fire. And then one of his producers as well, S1, lives out here in Dallas. So
Oh, right on.
yeah, I met both of them one time, and yeah, that was pretty cool. But for anybody, I just think that again, there's enough lanes for everybody to kind of do their own thing these days, and you can still get your message out,
Definitely.
regardless. And again, people will follow you as long as you stay true to yourself. So,
Right.
Def-
Straight up.
V boy.
yeah.
So now with that being said, this your first Christian project as well?
No, you know what it is. I'm not saved or born again. I mean, I come from a religious family, but I'm not. I have a different outlook on faith and everything. But Zach, the reason why I'm so supportive of Zach and his decisions and endeavors is because it saved him. And we were going down a bad path. We were going to die. So whatever he says and however he says it, I'm rocking with him 100%. So when he was like, "Look, V, I'm down to do the project, but this is how I roll," and I'm like, I didn't roll like that. And I'm like, but either way, I'm about this positivity because the same thing, I was trapping, I was carrying pistols, I was going to jail, in and out, drugs, homeless, all this stuff. And when I finally said for my children that I wasn't going to be doing bad things anymore, I changed my life and things got better. People just don't realize in the hood that a lot of what happens to us is perpetuated onto us. And a lot of what we do, we bring upon ourselves. So yeah, I may have been born poor, Section 8 housing, all that stuff, food stamps, but I kept it going because I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself. And to see Zach be confident and want to keep rhyming, at first I told him I don't think that I could find anything to rap about because all I know about rapping about is doing drugs, getting messed up, you know, being mean to women, all this stuff. And he was like, "Look, we can do better." And I threw him a couple 16s, and he was like, "It's good. You still got bars, but you're not rapping about what I'm asking for." And I kept hitting him. And when I finally fell into the pocket, he was like, "This is something where me as a person of faith can mess with you. If you can keep going this way, can you do that?" And I said, "I could." And we dumped out this project and it's banging. And it's the only way I can rap now. Every time I pick up a rhyme now and pick up a pen and I want to write about a gun, or I want to write about a car, or I want to write about boning some chick or something crazy, I think back and I go, how are my kids going to learn from this? Or how is some young kid that was in the same hopeless position I was in, how is he going to learn from this music? And if it's not like that, I'm not with it. I think back to bands like Public Enemy, NWA in their early years, things like that. And I think the pedestal that we had, or the soapbox we could have stood on as MCs to empower people, minorities, and people that are disenfranchised, as opposed to break them down. And you look at how systematic oppression works in the United States, and how the greatest trick that the American government ever played on the Blacks and the Latins of this country is by making them feel like they're doing it to themselves. They're not. They allow music that's very regressive to go out there, and kids to be like, all I need is a chain, all I need is these shoes, all I need is this whip, and I'm straight, and it doesn't matter who I have to get it. And that doesn't do anything good for anybody. So Parallel Universe has a meaning specific to me, is that it's really hard for me to function with, the squares of the world, and it's hard for me to function with the people I came up around that are in and out of prison and things like that. So my parallel universe with Zach is that I feel stuck, that I'm evolved, but I can't let go of my connection to the streets. So this project means a lot to me too, and I think it's a great project because I think me and Zach found a real niche to where we can speak some good street stuff, but and people can appreciate it, but we're not telling anyone to go out and do anything wrong. So that's what it means to me. And this is not my first, this is my first positive project, because everything that was going on before, I wasn't telling anybody to do anything but go out and sell dope and go out and, party and do drugs. And I'm just so happy to be a part of this. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, man. And I like the fact that we are disenfranchised in a lot of these communities, and
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of times people think that way of life is all they know, going out
Yes,
shooting, going out hustling,
definitely.
and they never leave the hood. And I mean, that's you know, from the West Coast to the South, everywhere, man. And
No?
the fact that you guys, you know, you may have a connection in your own communities with a lot of individuals, so you can touch somebody's lives in very positive way with, you know, Parallel Universe. So, you know, definitely big ups to you guys with this project. And when does it actually come out? When are
Thanks.
y'all dropping it? Next month?
We just got the masters back today, so we're going to be on all streaming platforms the second weekend. Like, I'm literally trying to get back to the house and get this thing up on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, Amazon, everything we can as soon as possible. If Zach is okay with that, what's Zach going to do?
Yeah,
He's the
I
king.
literally like what before I got into the conversation with you real right now, D Dot. Literally just got the emails for the last 4 songs that got mastered. My mastering dude, Doggy Dogs, man, Mad Dog out in that San Diego. Shout out to him. He just got the files back to us today. So it's perfect timing, man. The ones that I had shot you were just mixed, but they weren't mastered for you to check out. But we got everything back today. So however long it takes us to get that thing uploaded, you know, the original plan was to get this first video and single out. But man, we're just so excited to drop this project. I think we're just gonna push that. And we got the treatment written for the first video. So we're just trying to coordinate everybody onto the same day so we can get everything shot because it features a couple young artists from our town. So we're trying to make sure everybody's on the same schedule so we can get that shot and edited and up as soon as possible. But we excited, man. It's dope. Yeah, so we should be out, man. What does it take Spotify to get up or
Like
DistroKid
2 weeks,
or
You,
whatever
dog.
we
Like
you
use?
go
forever.
through you go through like DistroKid, or
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we
he's using DistroKid and I'm
DistroKid.
using TuneCore. So
because well, if you, I've had projects go up like the same day in a lot
right,
of cases from
Funny, it never goes down like
yeah,
that for me.
they're pretty quick nowadays.
yeah, so they might, you know, 24 hours, you'll probably see it 24 to 48 hours up there.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. So I want to switch gears, man. You guys, one of the things that always fascinate me about people I know from the West Coast is growing up in the 90s during just that era of music.
Yeah.
We about to
Yeah.
talk about hypey.
Yeah, man. I just, I guess from the outside looking in, just tell me what that was kind of like. I guess you guys saw like Dre and Snoop come up, and then I know you spoke about being from kind of like being around the San Francisco, Oakland area. So I know, you know, maybe a lot of like E40, Too Short.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
you know, you may know some guys that I never knew, you know, living in the South. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time. You could kind of even vibe off each other. Yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Oh
You want
man,
to
so
go,
I'll
Zach?
just kick it off. V, you can jump in, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you right away, man. The '90s was the funnest era as far as California music went, man. Period, because hyphy era was like based on a lot of street credible rappers that were just doing stuff and having fun with it. You know what I mean? And I believe the innovator, the creator of all that was Mac Dre. You know, and I had a firsthand opportunity to work in the studio with him. Met his mom, met a couple of the people that were around him at the time. It was a huge thing. And around that same time, V did a song with Andre Nicotina, who was another huge Bay Area artist. So that's kind of how we got our buzz behind us at the same time because we were putting these projects together around the same time. And that was like it was a little bit after the 2000. It was like 2004, 2003, but it was all in that same little period of time. And man, I just know that we was having the most fun with music, and there was still a gangster element to it. But man, people weren't afraid to get out on the dance floor and be gigging, and you know what I mean. Mac Dre did the Thiz Dance, song, and then he talking about wiping himself off like he just stole third. And, you know what I mean? Like the dance moves were in there, bro. It was good times, man. It was a real good time.
Word,
Yeah,
man.
you
So
know, if I could speak on it a bit, is so Mac Dre was like our DJ Screw or like our Pimp C. Like his
Mhm.
music will live forever in our region, our area. Like I got people in Denton, I got people in Gainesville, I got people in Richardson. My daddy lives in
okay,
McKellen.
all
I know
right.
Texas rock hard with you know their music and their vibe, and nobody sounds like Texas music. I mean, I listen to Go Yayo and Trapboy Freddy, and I love Sauce Walker. Like I listen to anything Sauce does. But what I was gonna say is on our end, with the G Funk thing taking off in LA and Dre and all that, there was this outcry in the Bay Area. We started the independent hustle. So we had Vallejo, Oakland, San Francisco, East Palo Alto, all these cities
Yeah.
that were making music independently and selling it out the trunk. And over 10 years, 15 years of A&Rs taking our ideas and other people taking our slang. I mean, I used to hear Jay-Z say things that like only people in our neighborhood said and stuff like that. And just, we are trendsetters. And not to take anything from anyone else, but the hyphy movement was like kind of like an offshoot of what we saw in Atlanta with Crunk. And we wanted something that was our own. And what we do out here is different than anybody. We love to roast our tires. We do donuts. We do sideshows. If you see them on, look up YouTube Bay Area sideshow. This is what we do. We shut down freeways and we spin our cars in circles. We ghost ride the whip. We stand on top of our cars. We dance funny. It's just everything in the Bay Area. And it's funny when I was kicking it out in Texas, people were like, you talk real fast, you move real fast, and that's the Bay Area. It's always, the freeways are always 100 miles per hour. Everything's going. It's the tech capital of the world. And I mean, I live right down the street from eBay. I got Netflix off to the side of me. Facebook is down the road. The actual buildings where these people go and for the apps that you use. And it's just fast paced. So our music is fast paced. So we just go, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's basically what the Bay Area is to me. And the hyphy movement to me was the best time of my career because I mean, we were just, I mean, everyone was looking at us, everyone was checking us out, A&Rs were flying in, people were getting deals, and then it just died because the one thing we don't have out here, like Atlanta has and New York has and Texas has, is we don't back our own. We fight with our own. We there's a lot of jealousy in the streets in our city. A lot of people have been gunned down and shot. Rest in peace, Mac Dre. But there's way more. I could go down a list. But I know Texas has been having their deals recently too. When Benny got shot in Houston, and I know the homie in Dallas got shot. The blood homie, I forgot his name. Mo. What's his name? Tell me.
Uh,
Mo 3. I
yeah,
can't. Mo.
Mo three, yeah,
Yeah, Mo 3.
with
Yeah.
Boosie, yeah.
So yeah, and respect to him. R.I.P. to him. Sorry about the mess up on the name, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Violence first and foremost is definitely gotta stop. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just it's sad. There was like in Texas, I think 3 or 4 rappers in the last maybe 3 to 5 months or so got shot.
Mhm.
This is a project though, you guys are coming out with that, again could help change somebody's life.
Hopefully,
So, man, that's the hopes,
that's
man.
some
I mean,
trends.
even just hearing V saying things like, he sees the light a little bit, and this is the way he's rapping now. Is just like, just for me to be able to be a part of his transformation in any kind of way, for him to be, coming to a more positive side of himself, man, and hopefully that just spreads, man, because I'm proud of the changes he's made in his life, and just like you said,
Thank
the
you,
things
brother.
you got. I see him, and I've known him since we was knee high to a grasshopper. You know what I mean? And we was both running the same alleyways and the same turf, and
Pretty crazy, both of them.
it was some crazy times to say the least. But we've both seen each other grow up, and this isn't our first project, man. Our first project, we didn't really care about being positive, or it was a good project, but we weren't on the same hype we are now. And I think this is really a grown man project, man. This is something like we really speaking to somebody. It ain't just rap. It ain't all over the place.
Oh,
But yeah, man. So like I said, just to hear him say that to me, like, and say that in this interview, that he's on that hype now, and he's not going back to what he was rapping about before. I mean, that's a big sign that it's already, starting. And then nobody's really even heard this piece outside of you and the few little songs we've been leaking the past few days. But I've been getting some real, some great feedback about these songs, man. I always make sure that people see the light in those songs when I'm sharing them. I'm like, this is something we did, and then it does have a positive message, and they just agree with it. Like, yeah, man, it does. I see that, and I respect that. So that's all I want to do, man. Is just spread the love, man, and let people know like you ain't stuck, even though we've all been in situations where we feel like, man, I can never get out of this. You know what I mean? There's always a way out, bro. You just got to keep your faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it is very true, man. I can remember like, and it's kind of ironic. You talk about 2014, a lot of things happened to you.
Yeah.
2014, I think, kind of around that same time, um, I was also that year, I got in an accident in like May of that year, and I was injured. And then like 3 months after or during rehab, my dad passes away.
Mm.
And it's kind of like, man, I don't have a car. Pops passed away. I had to go to Louisiana. It's like it almost felt like it when it rains, it pours.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
if you had to ask me, I don't know till this day how I made it out of that, but I just kept going, man. And
Yeah.
you gotta sometimes to get, the results that you're looking for and to pull yourself out of there because you might feel like you are stuck, like you said, but
Right.
you can't give up, man. You give up, you'll lose automatically.
Yeah. Well, trials, man, they build perseverance, and so that's like something we get put through at times just to make sure, we build up our character, man, because it's like they say, that our past made us who we are today. And it's like, we ain't all had the cleanest past. We ain't all had the best upbringings, but we made it to where we at. And we just keep pushing forward, man. And that's where your strength comes from, man. So you a strong individual, bro. Rest in peace to your pops, man. But you here today, bro, and I see you, and man, I respect your work ethic, your grind, you as a person, man. I've been watching you just as long as you've been watching me, bro. We've been connected, and I see you pushing these instrumental albums. I see you pushing these albums. I see you getting behind artists and doing your podcasts and your shows, man. It's nothing but love from us out here in the West, brother. Anything you ever need, bro, holla at your boy. You know what I mean?
Oh
You
man.
gotta, you gotta come touch the West Coast one time, man, with your
Yeah.
presence, bro. Bring you out to
Yeah.
these spots, man. Bring you out to the lab and really get our feet wet together, bro. It'd be dope.
Yeah, man. I was thinking about that earlier today, man. Before I was just like, man, I ain't been to Cali since probably like '07, '08, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I gotta make it out there definitely to your area. Now now the one thing we do butt heads on is you a Niners fan,
I
bro.
already know where you're going.
uh,
Man.
man. Yeah, man. It's all good. You still my guy, man. You still my
Yeah.
guy. But y'all had a pretty rough year this year, man.
Yeah, we did, man. We did. A lot of people giving up on Jimmy G, man, already. And it's like, to me, he only had that one full season to really show himself, and he is kind of seeming like he's a little injury prone. But at the same time, man, 2020 was just bad all the way around, for especially for injuries for a lot of teams. They had no preseason, you know what I mean? So I can't really give up on the homie yet, man. You know what I mean? I always saw it like we had Montana, then we had Steve Young, then we had Jeff Garcia. And after Jeff Garcia, bro, I just wasn't really rocking with a lot of our quarterbacks. Jimmy G was one that he showed some good signs, but I mean, we had Alex Smith. I never was a big fan of Alex Smith, bro. Like, I just always felt like he was in the press conferences with that smirk, and he was like, almost looked like he just didn't care, like, And then he went to the Chiefs and started killing them. I'm like, oh man. And then you got Kaepernick, the whole story behind Cap. You know what I mean? So I liked Cap. Don't get me wrong, but I just didn't feel like he, was all he was hyped up to be. And then he kind of proved that himself. But he got into the whole political realm of everything, and he lost a lot of his backing because a lot of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes, which was unfortunate because I still rock with him on a political level. You know what I mean? Um, he's a good dude in that area, but it's kind of sad that everybody just cut him off. But it is what it is, bro. He's got another calling in life. I believe that's probably that was his platform to get started. So he's still doing positive things. So I gotta rock with him for that. But yeah, Raiders, man, that Coliseum, man, that new spot they got, I really like that, bro. That's dope, man. I was actually pulling for y'all this year. I'm like, man, you guys got a new spot, new fresh start. You know what I mean? The team was looking all right. And that's kind of how the Raiders do sometimes, man. They come out the gate gunning, running and gunning, and then they just kind of tail off at the end, man. It's like it's been a pattern for y'all.
And gotta get a defense, man. Like
Yeah.
I just don't think we can go out and score 35, 40 points every week to win games. And that proved a lot, especially late in the year. We had at least 3 or 4 games lost in the last minute. So it's like it really I was finished by the end of the season, where I was so mad.
I feel you though. Man, that Super Bowl though was hard to call. Like, who we gonna root for here, man? I'm like, man, they beat us last year, but then Tom Brady is from the Bay too. At the same time, but I'm like, I want to see someone else win it, but I don't know if I want to see Mahomes and them win it because they beat us last year. So I'm like caught between. But I just watched it and enjoyed it. It was a good show, man. Hey, Brady ain't no joke, bro. I gotta give it to him, man, because me coming up as a Niners fan, I don't ever want to say anybody's better than Montana, but you know what, man? I'll say Brady is up there. I'm just gonna say he's up there, bro. I know he got more rings than us now and all that, but you know what? I still can't. I can't just give it to him like that, bro. That's just
And
me.
I totally agree with you, man. I mean, being even a Raiders fan, I have to say, in my book, Montana was probably the best quarterback that I've seen play. Maybe
Right.
Marino, but
Yeah.
I got to give Brady his due at this point, man.
That's real, man. Hey, and then we could argue about the whole Marino was great, bro, but he just never had that right team behind him, man. He couldn't even
Never.
get one ring. So I mean, you gotta kind of look at the bigger picture in that sense too. Like, if he couldn't even get one ring, I don't know if he could be mentioned with Montana and Brady. But you know what, man? Like I said, we that's a whole different line of conversation right there.
Man. Yeah, we'll see. We'll
Well,
see
let's just
about
hope
this.
for a better year for both of us, right?
Yeah, that's all, man. I just I'm free agency hasn't started, but I'm impressed with some of the cuts and some of the cap sheets we're making. So we'll see.
Right, right.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Now one more question in
for
football.
sure.
If Matt Ryan became available, 'cause I've been hearing a lot of stuff about that. Would you mind him over there, or would you rather keep Jimmy G?
See, I haven't researched Homie enough, man. It's like I've just been so caught up with everything else. But I don't believe, I really don't believe that our quarterback is the main problem right now. I know we need some corners, we need something in the backfield on defense. And we need someone to throw too, because we didn't have too many great receivers. So it's like you could have the best quarterback in the world out there. And if he's slinging the ball and people is going through their hands or hitting them in the chest, you know what I mean? Like it ain't really worth having that great quarterback out there. So
Yeah, man.
I mean, I think Jimmy G can pull it off. I wouldn't be shaking either way, bro. Matt Ryan is. I know he's dope. I know he got skills. He's a young dude. He can bring us for a long time. He could, ride with us. But we just have to see, man. I just say, give Jimmy G one more shot at a healthy season. If he gets hurt again, man, that's just a fact that he's way too injury prone for us. Like he's got to be able to thug it out through some situations. Because man, that's the thing. If you think about, man, how Montana used to be, that boy used to be getting hit so hard, still getting back up and slinging that ball, bro. Like
Yeah,
that
man.
was like a big difference between him and Jimmy G. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jimmy G's kind of like lightweight when it comes to yeah, if you hit him like Montana was getting hit, he'd be out down and out for sure.
Man,
Montana used to be getting stung, bro, and just jumping up and just next play, let's go. And that's kind of how the whole that team of the decade era for the Niners was, though, man. They had some beasts on those teams, bro. Ronnie Lott, you know what I'm saying? You had Roger Craig, you had Jerry Rice. Like, them boys weren't worried about no injuries, bro. They might have been hurting. They were playing right through them injuries. You know what I mean?
man, that's that old school football.
Yeah,
That
that's what I'm
old school.
saying. So it's hard to it's hard to compare to the it's like the new rap and the old rap, right? It's like, come on now, y'all say you thugging out here, man. But then we came from the era where we seen some real thugging, man. It's like,
Crazy.
not trying to glorify nothing, like I said, but you know what I mean. Like, there is a difference.
Know
You
the
know what I mean?
difference. Know the
There's a big
difference.
difference.
Man. So what you got the Parallel Universe project. Any
Yeah.
other big plans for 2021?
2021, man. I just want to ride this until the gas tank's empty, bro, and then just stay pushing that positive line and get a few videos out. I believe that this project, man, could carry us through almost a whole year, bro. There's a lot of good music on here that we can stretch out into singles. I was thinking about, I wanted to be dropping maybe 4 singles before we put the whole project out, but I think we're gonna do it the other way around. So we're just gonna get this project out and then just pick singles off of it and keep pushing the videos for them and keep trying to get that buzz going for it. At the same time, I know V has another project he's already in the process of recording, and it's on the same lines as this one. So we're gonna stand behind his project. And it's Death of a Salesman. Um, and we got another collaboration project that we're talking about doing after this one loses a little bit of his steam. And then I think he wants to help me out with another solo project that kind of like the Death of a Salesman on his end. He wants me to do something on my end. So got a few ideas. I never run out of ideas. I'm gonna have to get some of that good D dot production in my
Yeah.
life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Um,
Get
yeah, you already know. I was a big fan of the Boom Bap album you put out, bro. I was rocking a lot of them joints, man. That was some good stuff.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. It's been a long time overdue. I mean, we hadn't
Yeah,
worked since that one joint we did. I think it was like my second album, maybe around 2012-ish. And
yeah.
yeah, man, it's a lot we gotta catch up on. I know we got better skills, skill wise, and then we, of course, change as people too in terms of the content we putting out. So yeah,
Right.
man, let's definitely get something in, man. Whatever you guys need, feel free, to reach out to me, man. I'd love to work with y'all.
Definitely will, bro. Believe me, I'm gonna take you up on that offer.
Yeah, man, definitely. Um, for now, tell everybody where can they find you, like online, and as far as your projects and social media.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, pretty much you put my name in anywhere, you're gonna find it, man. ZAK1, Zach1. Real basic. I got that from tagging back in the days. We used to go bomb everything with this graffiti, man. So I just carried it with that. But anyway, Zach1, you go to Bandcamp. I got albums up there. I got the SoundCloud, of course. Got Dat Piff. I got a lot of free music on Dat Piff still. Um, YouTube, Spotify, anything. And then for my social media, as far as that goes, official Zach1 for the Twitter and the Instagram. Zach1 for the Facebook artist page. Any social media, you need to look up Zach1 or official Zach1, and you're gonna run into your boy somewhere on there. Go ahead and add me. I usually add people back if they look like real people. you know. But all these robots sending out friend requests nowadays, you never know, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely out there, bro. I'm not hard to find. Any artists that want to work with me, man, I'm very humble. I'm not trying to hit people over the head. You know what I mean? I might need a few dollars for some studio time or something just to get the project recorded. But other than that, man, I'm very reasonable to work with. I do these graphics, as you know, as well. So we can barter for beats, we can barter for graphics, we can work stuff out, bro. I'm very flexible. I'm willing to work, and I got a lot of love, especially for the younger cats coming up. I hope to be a positive influence on them.
Oh yeah, yeah. And yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. You got the studio out there where you at?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of I don't really rock at the same spot I was at, but I got a lot of different outlets still. And
Okay.
my man's still out there doing his thing, so I could always get people out there too. But it's never a shortage of somewhere to record at. You know what I mean? So I used to have the little home lab too, man. I really need to get that hooked back up because I was making some good music. I made a lot of albums out of here. But we just recently moved. We got blessed with this little housing lottery out here, so we went from being packed up in a one bedroom to a nice 3 bedroom where we could all spread out and stretch, you know what I mean, and get our little man, it feels good. God is good, brother. That's all I can say. You know what I mean?
Man.
So it's been a rough ride from the beginning, but man, it's just like I just keep getting blessed as I go, bro. You know what I mean? And man, I'm just thankful. I'm just so
Mm.
thankful, man. It's a lot to be thankful for, and it's kind of like we were talking about before you started recording on this one, man, is the snow situation, the weather out there in Texas. Sometimes you don't see right in front of you all the stuff that you have at your access, you have access to until it's taken away from you, and then you really appreciate it. So, you know what I mean? That's been the case in my life from the beginning, bro. It's like, man, now I'm just sitting back and watching God work and being thankful for everything He's doing for me and my family, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna use my gifts to glorify Him as much as I can. You know what I mean? And just like I said, just keep being a positive influence. There's a lot of young people out here that could be misled really easily, bro. You know what I mean? So why not try a different approach, than we've been doing so many years, and talking about things in a negative manner. There's a lot more to life, you know what I mean, and a lot of life that we could speak into these individuals. And so that's what I'm rocking with, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And big ups to you on that, man. And keep it up, man. And
Appreciate you, do that.
yeah, man. Um, one question I always like to ask everybody that comes on the show is we're all fans of music, and if there was one artist, one producer that you never got the chance to work with that you could work with, let's just say you could do one song, you get a 16 from an artist, any artist in the game, or you get a one beat from any producer in the game, who would that be?
And that you know what, it narrows it down when you say now, because it's like most of my favorite rappers are passed away. Keep it real with you.
All right.
So I mean, what the one major influence that I had coming up as far as albums go was Illmatic, Nas. So I'm gonna have to say from the beginning when that kicked off, man, and I heard that song with him and Primo, New York State of Mind, man, I'd definitely take Nas and Primo on anything, bro. Whew, that would be crazy, bro. That would be
Yeah,
crazy.
bro. Yeah, kind of the same for me. Like if I had one chance to produce for Nas, man,
Right?
I could retire the day after, bro.
Hey.
I'd feel accomplished at that point.
That's big, man. That's really big. That's yeah. That's definitely he's top five for me, man. So my top five is Cool G Rap, Nas, Ice Cube from the East. You know what I mean? And Big L was one of my
Oh
favorites.
yeah, Big L, big ups to Big L.
Yeah. So man, those were big influences in my career coming up. When we was younger, you around the same age as me, I believe. And when we was younger, there
39.
wasn't a lot of from as far as rap went, man. Hip hop started in New York, so it's like when you our age, obviously there wasn't nowhere else doing it. So that's the first thing we had our ears on. So a lot of my influence lyrically that comes from New York, because that's the first stuff I was listening to. So that's why I always like to mess with the wordplay, man. I like to hit them with the wordplay a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I feel you, man. I so much miss that era of music, and I feel like the game is starting to kind of shake back to some pretty good music. I feel like
Yeah,
last couple of years we've had a lot of good
right.
music.
Yeah, it's coming full circle, man. You got like you know, the Griselda movement. You got Boldy James. Shout out to my folks out there in the 313, man. My boy Blue Rilla. You know what I mean? And Beat Doc. I got some homies out there. I've been out there. I got the 2010 spoken word hip hop Billboard Artist of the Year award out there. You know what I mean? So I went out there and got to touch the ground and network with my boys out there. That was big, man. And so Boldy is a cat that's coming out from the same neighborhood they was from. He's doing it right now. Yeah, there's a lot of cats, man, that are bringing it back to the bars and the beats too.
Yeah.
The beats. Alchemist has got a big buzz again. You know, not that he ever really lost his buzz, but he's coming back up and rocking with a lot of these cats too. So
He's been doing a
yeah,
lot
man,
of them.
I'm excited to see.
collab.
What's that?
He's been doing a lot of them collab albums.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freddie Gibbs too. I'm a big fan of Freddie Gibbs, man.
Yeah, big up to Freddie.
Freddie be bodying them, man. He got them bars.
Man, yeah, Freddie, Currency, and I think Alchemist also dropped a beat tape recently as well. Like, man, he always working, man. So, yeah, big ups to Alchemist, man.
Definitely.
And shit, it was a pleasure to have you on the show, man. You know, glad we got a chance to catch up, and you know, anytime. You know, if you want to reschedule something or, you know, you want to get on the show, just feel free to reach out to me, man, and we'll make the time. We'll get you on, you know, if you want to plug anything that you're working on. And
I appreciate you, my dude. The pleasure was all mine, man.
No problem, man. And shoot, like I said, reach out to me, production as well. So, you know, we'll definitely get up on something, man.
I'm going to be at you, my bro. Trust.
For sure. This has
been, be safe out there, man. You know what I mean? I know that weather been mangy, so.
Oh man, it's been like right now it's been going back and forth 70s to 40s, but you know, it's gonna stay steady. It's about to be springtime, so we're gonna get a little bit of warmer weather now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, big bro. Much love to you. Salute, bro. You in the movement out there. Track Stars, what's up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This has been another edition of the Major Music Lounge. Watch this episode on YouTube as well as all podcast streaming platforms. And we're out.
My love.
Major Music.